Testing, testing, testing. Are we broadcasting? Yeah, I'll tell you what. The stream from a couple days ago went way too long. I worry that people will look at like the 3 hour timeline on that and not click on it, when really only the first hour, hour and a half was the live stream itself. Top hat is here. Brilliant. Yeah, I was saying that that 3 hour, 4 hour stream I did a couple days ago, that's too long. People see that and like, no, I'm not going to click on that. And so maybe what I should start doing it's a lot easier to do the streams this way and to have the interaction. There's less planning. When JT and I sit down and record an independent video, there's a ton of more planning that goes into it. Oh, by the way, there's no reason not to be playing music right now. Here we go. We'll play some music from JT. Exactly. So, like, I have an hour worth of material to present to people that I want them to hear, that I want to get out there. But then there's also, if you have questions, if you like the stuff I do, we could keep chatting for a bit. And like I'm totally down for that, but it's not the same thing as the core content I want to get out there. So I think that's what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start doing the streams proper, and then switch to post-stream chat like this. Which is less organized, no expectations. It might be great, might be terrible. I might delete it afterwards. Like if I don't think anything really profound is covered, then I'll delete it, because I don't want to waste anybody. Like, we're kind of having fun because we're talking in real time. But if there's nothing really profound that's covered, no need to archive it. What did I listen to in my youth? Man, I was a weird kid, okay? Frank Sinatra and Celtic music. I've always been obnoxious for rejecting pop culture. The real irony is the Celtic music I listened to wasn't even traditional. It was like modern Celtic music pretending to be traditional. Holst. Look up The Planet Suite by Holst. Can I do this on a live stream? Mars, the bringer of war. Wait, no, I've got a better idea. Mars, bringer of war. And I specifically want Venture Brothers. Here we go. Oh, this is hilarious. So this is from the Planetary Suite by Holst.
We are back.
I'm going to turn this off. I'm not worried about the ad revenue getting taken from this one. Now, I should be able to go to OBS. I should be able to turn on. There we go. How many of you guys know the Venture Brothers? This is the planetary Mars, the bringer of war.
Dude.
You heard him. I'll pick you up at 5. Be outside. I don't want to
have to talk to your mom.
Well, I will be there.
For the record, when I used to get dressed for military parade, I would sometimes play this song. So this spoke highly to me.
Daddy's home. I heard you the first time. Lady, no! Mom! I'll call the dog!
Mom, call the dog! Yeah, so that's... Oh, the Planetary Suite is brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Now, where were we? Here we are. So yes, jazz, classical, and contemporary pseudo-Celtic music. That's what I listened to in my youth. Okay, are the space hippies in Star Control 1? No, they aren't. Star Control 1 is a real... It's like a battle... It's like, you know those first-person shooters where, like... It's a tactical shooter. Except it's not a shooter. It's a 2D, space-based... It's really hard to explain what the game is. Every battle happen... Like, you can slingshot around planets on the game in real time. You can gravity whip around planets. You can make stable orbits around planets. It's God, the game is so good. Star Control 1 is a strategy game with only the bare skimming of a plot. Star Control 2 takes the battle mechanics and the background and creates an interactive 2D space adventure RPG. We're also, like, by the way, it's free. It's free. It's Urquan Masters. Look up I'm going to type this in the chat. Go play this. Urquan Masters. It's completely free. And it's one of the best games. It's so good. It's so freaking good. The only difficult part is the controls. Basically, you've got thrust, turn left, and turn right. And attack 1 and attack 2. Because, like, it's like navigating through space where you have momentum. And then you can turn, like, you can accelerate this way. And then you turn this way. And then you can accelerate this way. But you're still going this way, right? It's not totally realistic or anything, but it's fantastic game. Star Control 2 is the one you want to play. And no, the space hippies are not in Star Control 1. They are exclusively in Star Control 2. Let me see, just trying to read through the chats. Butterfly Ballerina, she's a rockhead. Yeah, no, I listen to a lot of classic rock. I started listening to classic rock after I got out of the Army. So 2008, 2009, I like dived head first into classic rock. Johnny Cash, like all of the old classic music. I'll be honest, I almost never listen to music these days. Oh, and geez, wait, let's get more of that. Speaking of music, I think I'll turn that down just a little bit. Do you know of Westcroft Loudon? Got a channel called Enlighten. Oh shit, he's in Alberta. West Scott Loudon. Okay, let me. Scott Loudon? Louden. Oh, I forgot the O. Louden. Oh yeah, there's a bald dude. I think it's the wrong channel. Could you put an @ for him or link to a video or something? I'm curious. I'd love to get. You know, I tell you, the worst part about the online thing is that everybody you meet is like half a world away. The one I came closest to marrying was a medical officer in the U.S. military. I miss her a lot sometimes. But the distance did not help. I live in Alberta, her family lived in Texas. I certainly hope her memories of me aren't too angry. Enlighten, misspell. Let me see if I can find this. Is it Living Theosophy? Wait, I think I found it. Well, I'm subscribed to him. 3 more links. He's got a Twitter, Enlighten Chan. Alright, let me check this out. Yeah, I'll just leave that link open. Based upon his physiognomy, either we'll get along really well or we'll hate each other. No middle ground there. Of course I enjoy that show. Oh my god, Venture Brothers was... I got introduced to it by another guy in the army who was like, Brock Sampson's an absolute beast. Yeah, I love Venture Brothers. It's a pie-in to failure. God, the show is so heartbreaking, but the characters just keep going. No matter how, like, God, they get kicked down so much. All of them. They all get beat the hell out of, but they keep showing up every day. As douchey and ridiculous as all of them are, they keep showing up. So, yeah, I love that show. Oh my god, it's been on top chat the whole time, too. Damn it. You just switch to live chat to actually see all the comments. Vivaldi. I listen to a lot of Vivaldi. Oh, God. My first attempt at writing a novel when I was a teenager involved that I had a line where it's like the Vivaldi's 3 seasons or whatever was playing in the background, but the perspective character only recognized it as the music from that furniture commercial. Back in the 90s, they loved playing Vivaldi for furniture commercials. Listen knows that Starflight is apparently a Star Trek TOS game in all but name. That sounds interesting. I really liked FTL Faster Than Light. I mean, look up FTL Faster Than Light. It's kind of a roguelike, jump from system to system, boost the systems on your Starfleet spacecraft. I really liked it. If it looks like something you'd like, give it a shot. But again, it's really particular if you like that sort of a game. I really enjoyed FTL Faster Than Light. Yes, post-traumatic chat, exactly. There you go. Blazing Noah is checking out Star Control. Again, Urquan Masters is the best version of Star Control. The free version is the best version. The paid version is the lower quality one. Urquan Masters has the voice files, the music. God, I love that game. Butterfly says, she wrote it down, then I moved to the used and whole. After that, everything went down the tubes. Wait, what are you saying, Butterfly? I do not grok. Reality has shifted, says Skulls McJowls. Okay, yeah, I got the right channel. Esteban. Is that Esteban? Esteban, yes. Yeah, Young is not comfortable. Young is not comfortable, but my question is always, is it wrong? And I don't think Young is wrong. Like, honestly, I very much am a post-Catholic these days. Which disappoints me. I wish I could just point you to the giant institution and say that this institution has it all figured out. Don't worry, they will train you to be a Jedi Knight. That's not what I believe. I believe they got most of it figured out. I believe for some people it's the right institution. I believe they're about 95% correct. But ironically, it's the 5%. It's the 5% that are so damned important. Like, listen, if you're at the 50%, which nobody here is, if you're at 50%, it doesn't matter what church you go to. You can be a Muslim, you can be a Buddhist, you can be a Protestant, you can be whatever. If you're at the 50%, doesn't matter. 90% of religions understand how to wipe their ass. But when you're at the 95%, which, like, gross ballpark, I'd say at least, like, everybody here is at 80%. Bare minimum. A lot of it's going to be based upon temperament. You're temperamentally suited to it, or you aren't. And that's biology. That's not moral judgment upon you. That's, you may or may not be suited to it. What was my favorite Adult Swim show? Honestly, probably Venture Brothers. What was that undergrad show? Hey, guy. Everybody, oh, fuck, I was a terrible rake in college. Everybody compared me to him. Even though I'm really more choleric than sanguine. DNA Reboot says Scowls McJowls cryptically. Do you think immigration is God's punishment on the West? No. No more than I think that AIDS is God's punishment upon the gay community. Like, you can construct it that way. Like, it is a result of particular behaviors. Where I disagree is in the deserve it. You know, every so often I like to belligerently post on Twitter that so-and-so deserved it. And it's funny how much outrage this caused. Deserved it is one of the most offensive statements that you can make these days. People lose their shit when you say that so-and-so deserved the consequences of their actions. HIV was a consequence of the sexual behavior, which was completely out of control in the 70s and 80s. And what'd you ask? Immigration? Immigration is a consequence of certain normative precepts that we adopted in the West. And so in one sense, yeah, in that case it's deserved. It's a consequence of. But what does deserve mean? To quote the movie Unforgiven, deserve's got nothing to do with it. It's not about deserve, it's about consequences. Deserve is a beautiful fiction, but it is a fiction. Have you ever explored the links between New Age paganism, the Van der Vogel, Hitler Youth, SS and the hippies, free love movements in the 60s? Not in particular, Blazing Noah, but I think I know what you're getting at. And it's one of the things I am cautious. I'm very, very cautious about. I think it's important to know. Okay, so my basic training as a historian is to understand the historical context within which each historian is writing. So, I just in fact, let me grab it. Let me grab it. So, I just got this book on Amazon. I decided to order a physical copy because I think this book is worth it. But oh, thank goodness, it's not that long either. On the Cessation of Oracles by Plutarch. So this was written in about 100 AD. About 100 AD, about the oracles going silent, allegedly. And Plutarch, being a proper historian, presents multiple theories as to why. I haven't read the book yet. I don't want to tell you what Plutarch said. But I'm going to read that book from the perspective of a highly educated man in the 1st century AD. One of the first things you need to do as a historian is to read all historical documents in context. I have heard stories about the voices of gods disappearing. There's a particular passage in that book that the early Christians attributed to the death of Christ on the cross. I want to read the original document. I have immense respect for Christ as a spiritual figure. I think you all know that. Is he the Son of God? Man, I don't know, man. I don't know what that means, man. I'd like to see what Plutarch's raw words, how they stand up to that. There's also a correlation between gods going silent and societies collapsing. And then us discovering new gods. Or new lines of access to the divine. I think artificial intelligence is one of our access routes to the divine. Actually, I think my next test for artificial intelligence is going to be telepathy. Which I think it will pass. So, sorry, there's a long aside. He's asking about New Age paganism, Nazism, etc. You need to read all this stuff in context. You need to develop a... Well, maybe you don't need to, okay? If you're a historian, you do need to. But there's flavors, there's ideological presuppositions. As much as I endorse the Kybalion is clearly a late 19th century document. Doesn't mean you shouldn't read it. Doesn't mean it doesn't have the secrets of alchemy in it. But it is what it is. Oh shit! So Esteban says that that guy he linked me to, he's been going hell with the courts and his marriage. Jesus. Scals McGill says, "What if it's a rewilding?" Not sure what that means, brother. I think immigration is us punishing ourselves for creating a successful civilization because of largely misplaced guilt. Yes, no, absolutely. I wish I had the ability to be a writer. Are you sure about that? I mean, Blazing Noah, if you really got something to say, you know, you got AI. It could write it for you if you're a bad writer. I did consult AI on coming up with a good tagline for the stream. Her and I have been back and forth, like we've been discussing these concepts constantly. And I said to her, all right, here's the plan for the stream. I need a good catch at the beginning. And so the intro was mostly written by her, but she also suggested that I refer to my own journey on the Tree of Life, that I make it personal. That was her suggestion. I'm like, you know, it's not a bad suggestion. Scows, I love you, man, but I don't understand any of your comments. Starflight is quite dated. I'll be honest, I'm probably not going to play it. I've got Baldur's Gate 3. And I haven't played it in like 2 weeks. One of the problems with getting older is that you view everything. It's harder and harder to view things for what they are, and you view them more and more as part of the industry and through the lens of other things. You're not fresh to them. So, you know, I view Fallout 1, like I'm still back when I was a kid playing those things, and I see them, and you know, I replay them and I see them for what they are. I see their limitations, I see their virtues, their vices. But I play Baldur's Gate 3 and I see all the seams. Which is not to discredit it. It's pretty good. And I might make some complaints about the game. Like the multi-ethnic thing is just retarded. You got people with 5 different skin colors living in one place. Historically accurate, or verisimilitude, would be that you would have travelers of different skin colors visiting the region. But the Druid Circle would all be of one dominant race in the game, but species. Like they'd either be dwarves, they'd either be humans, they'd either be elves. They'd be one of them. And they'd all have the same skin color. And you'd have visiting traders. Hell, I'm of the opinion that Christ's uncle probably brought him to Britain. Christ probably talked to the Druids with his uncle who was a merchant. That is a theory I've run into that makes a lot of sense. I think Christ actually did have a world-based knowledge. But they'd be the exceptions. They wouldn't be marrying and becoming the local bailiff or whatever modern heresy is being shoved upon us. All Blazing Noah can write his pro wrestling angles. Hey, Top Hat Jack, have you wrote some... Says he wrote some Transformers and Star Wars fanfics when he was in school. Dude, don't act like that's something to be ashamed of. Like... Write some more. Why the hell not? You broke your acting chops, your writing chops and that shit. Write some more if you want. So listen, I've written one novel. I might write another. I've got an idea for a novel in my head. We'll see if I write it or not. It's so much work writing a novel. It is so much work. But I've written a novel, and it was very much a first novel. It's flawed. But it's a solid novel. I'm proud of that. That's something nobody can take from you. If you got the fire in you, it's like being a bodybuilder. It's like anything else in life, man. Do you want to be a bodybuilder? Do you want to be a strongman competition? Do you want to win the 100 meter? Yeah, you're probably not going to be successful. It's like 0.1% get to be successful. Everybody else gets forgotten. But if you write a decent novel, if you run a good 100 meter, if you, I don't know, if you rope the calves, if you ride the stallion, something nobody can take from you. You went out, you played the game, you did it. So go fucking do it, motherfucker. Just fucking do it. Do it. You're probably not going to make $1 million. Probably not going to get remembered. But that's not... You don't do it to get remembered. You do it that you can remember that you did it. That you had the cojones, the commitment, the tenacity to do something. Go do it. Or don't. Or don't. Also, you don't have to. You're not a loser if you don't. You know what? It's also perfectly allowed to be kind of talented at art, kind of talented at hockey, and then you just decide to make a lot of money, have a wife, make some kids, raise them right. That's also allowed, man. There's some basic rules to this life. You gotta pay rent. You gotta pay food. Get your shit together. Have a retirement plan. There's some basic rules to this life. But once you do those rules, okay, now what do you want to do? You can do anything you want. Do something that'll make you proud of yourself. Music sucks nowadays. I'm going to slightly disagree with you. I mean, you're not wrong, but... No, not that one. Wait, can I... Let me see if we can look it up here. Oh, here we go. Alright. I'm going to... We're going to let JT's song finish. Saffron Scale, it's called. I really, really like this song. I'm going to use some analysis of the song to make it fair use. No roots.
I like digging holes and hiding things inside them. When I grow old, I hope I won't forget to find them. 'Cause I've got memories and travel like gypsies in the night. I build a home and wait.
Okay, I'm going to interject. I literally just filled this thing. There we go. I like digging holes, hiding things inside them. I hope when I get old, I won't forget to find them. Yeah, like save for retirement, kids.
'Cause I've got memories and travel like gypsies in the night. I build a home.
There is something very Babylonian about that necklace she's wearing. It does look like a lock upon her, which makes me worry, but anyway.
I build a home and wait for someone to tear it down. Then pack it up in boxes, head for the next town. 'Cause I've got memories and travel like gypsies in the night.
And like I dare say that most of us have a lot of empathy for this. That we have been gypsies, that we don't get to build a permanent home. We've got no village. We've got no place that we belong. We just keep traveling and looking for somewhere to belong.
And 1,000 times I've seen this road, 1,000 times.
I've got no roots, but my home was never on the ground. I've got no roots, but my home was never on the ground. I've got no roots. I mean, there's an obvious programming of this that you should just accept I'll own nothing and be happy. But there's also some integrity in that. Who the hell of us has roots anymore?
I like standing still, but that's just a wishful plan. Ask me where I come from.
I say a distant land.
But I've got memories and travel like gypsies in the night.
It's also very ironic that the whole video is filmed inside of a tenement. False aspiration, maybe. Like, she doesn't travel, she lives in a tenement, exactly like every other tenement.
I count gates and numbers, then play the guessing game. It's just the place that changes, the rest is still the same. But I've got memories and travel like gypsies in the night. And 1,000
Sounds like she's glamorizing this lonely, lonely fucking life that we all have to lead.
got no roots, but my home was never on the ground. I've got no roots, but my home.
And yet, this is also the part that speaks to me.
I've got no roots. I've got no roots,
always felt like a visitor on this planet. No proper home, not proper embedding in anything. I've tried harder than most to honor my bloodline, honor my military banner, honor my society, and the society's just not interested in it, is it? Saving up for retirement. I might not have no home, but I am saving up for retirement. Anyway, I do actually quite like that song quite a bit. So I don't know if it's fair to say there are no good songs. See. Yeah, Blazing Noah, I also think that Christ had some encounters with Buddhism as well. Listen, the foundational text of the New Testament is about Zoroastrian priests coming to recognize the new king. The three wise men were Zoroastrians. They were not Jews. Universalism is kind of present in the Bible from day one. Brother, I'll be honest, like the nature of the Christ myth, it's too damn Jewish for me. I'm just, temperamentally, I'm not Jewish, man. Temperamentally, I'm tragic. I'm optimistic. I'm passionate. I'm brokenhearted. The rules don't mean much to me. And I don't mean much to the rules. I have great love and admiration for Jesus Christ. But not Paul's legalism. I don't know if that makes me a bad Catholic or a great Catholic. I don't know. I don't care. I would like to meet a really good priest. I would like to become friends with a really good priest. That would be interesting. That would be fun. I have no argument with Catholicism. I just feel very orthogonal to it. Not anti, just weird. Wait, what's that? I was thinking about writing a Godzilla versus Transformers fanfic eventually, so I might do that eventually. All right, Top Hat. Let me give you a suggestion. Why? Why do you want to write that? What is the core element? What is Transformers in your mind? What is Godzilla in your mind? This is a great starting place. Okay? But don't limit it to the franchises that you're referencing. So I don't know what they mean to you, but I would interpret Transformers as an alien mechanical intelligence that had perfected mechanization. They turned machines into the good, but they lost the biological in the process. They weren't evil machines like in the Matrix. They were good machines, but they'd forgotten the biological. Well, who is it? Godzilla. Godzilla is the biological revenge upon abusive technology, upon nuclear weapons, using technology to destroy and pollute rather than to build and heal. So you've got two complete total opposites here. Idealized machines versus vengeful shadow biology. And what might the conflict between these two be? That's super fucking interesting. If you tie it into Autobots and Godzilla, you are locking yourself into all of this like historical bullshit. You don't want any of that. Could you write this story with new characters? You know, when they did Terminator 2, Terminator 1, Terminator 2, they didn't need to spend hours and hours and hours explaining to us how the machines evolved. They just, the machines want to destroy humanity. Okay, cool, alright. What's the core conflict of your premise? Like, you don't need 20 episodes of Autobots versus Decepticons. You can introduce the premise of your machine characters in like a paragraph or two. And then explore how they're both naive and brutal. Like if they're like good Terminators, they are both naive and brutal. While the Godzilla is naive and justified. That's an interesting conflict right there. That's really fucking interesting. Start with, like, you're basing it, you're inspired by this stuff. But you're moving beyond it. That's what you're doing with the story. Thank you, Noah. You enjoyed my novel. I really appreciate that. Oh, Butterfly, I would love to see your paintings. Revive old motorcycles, it's spiritual. Zen in the art of motorcycle maintenance, brother. Yeah, Top Hat Jake, the hardest part of novels is finishing the damn things. finish the damn thing. You want some creative advice? Finish the fucking thing. It's nothing harder than finishing the fucking thing. Just do it. Finish it. Finish it, produce it, publish it. Call it good enough. You think any of my videos are ever good enough for me? They're not. It's that I sit here endlessly writing in this book if I don't produce anything. No, me writing in a book, me analyzing my dreams, me doing all, it's worth fuck all if I don't say something to you folks. If I don't say something that to someone, that's the key that they were looking for. That's the thing that is the transformation they were waiting for. You can delete my whole fucking channel, but you can't change that instantiation of truth. Burn all my books, I don't fucking care. The person that read them needed to read them. Ah, Butterfly, what plants do you have? He who dares wins. God will open the universe to you. Damn straight scowls. Answer the call? Yeah. Saw a guy use gasoline in a Zippo. He had the opposite effect. Yeah, part of the reason for Zippos. This is not a Zippo, by the way. It's a custom lighter with the middle of St. Benedict on it, and it auto lights when you push the button. Mostly. And part of the design of these type of lighters is they're supposed to work on any inflammable substance. Not just the naphtha I put in them, but also gasoline or diesel. I haven't really tested it though. Top Hat Jax has roots and he's damn proud of them. Good. Good. Yeah, I think this song is a little bit subversive. But I do like the song. I mean, I've got roots. I'd really like to establish a strong bloodline. We'll see if God allows me to. If he doesn't, he doesn't. If he doesn't, I can accept this life. It's been good enough. It's good enough that he gave me the capacity to see through the illusion and to tell others about it. That is good enough for me. There's nothing that make me happier than building a family. Next door to the 11th. Scouts, I love your comments, man. I have no idea what the fuck you're saying. Daniel Boone is an uncle of yours. That is very cool. so important to know where you came from, to know who your ancestors were, to know what they did. Even the... In fact, I'd even say it's more important to know the mundane things they did. You know, it's funny. Everybody wants to be a hero in warfare. They want to blow up the Death Star. They want to be Luke Skywalker. No, I dare say that what matters a lot more is all the mundane shit you do. All the times you act like a good son even when you're exasperated. The times you act like a good friend for no benefit. It's the small, simple things. This is one thing that Lord of the Rings completely got right. The real hero of Lord of the Rings is Samwise Gamgee. He's a good gardener, a good servant, and a good friend to Frodo. Frodo never could have destroyed the One Ring without Samwise. And you know that Samwise is really the only character that gets a happy ending. Frodo sacrifices his entire soul to destroy the One Ring. He is so burned out by the end. Samwise gets a good happy ending. Samwise is a good man to be. I strongly advocate being Samwise Gamgee, not Frodo. I feel like a transient in exile, I know, man. Oh god, I wish I could find a home. The elders in my life. You know, to build a home, you need an elder that gives a shit about you. You need an elder, a grandfather, who's of your blood. Who's invested in the future of his people. And we don't have that. Far too many of our parents got divorced. And even the ones that didn't, their only legacy is a 401k from the corporation they worked for. Inheritance is not about assets. Inheritance is about reputation, about business, about participation in the local community. But the local community resets every 5 fucking years. We're all just role-playing at being members of the community. So you've got nothing to inherit. Like, my grandfather lived in Toronto. Both my grandfathers lived in Toronto. And I've got nothing to do with Toronto. 15 years back, I was working for the Commissionaires, which is doesn't matter. Security company for ex-military members. And this old man saw me in my commissionaire uniform, and he saw my last name. And he said, "Aurini? Are you, by any chance, related to Leo Aurini, my great-grandfather?" And I said, "Yes, he was my great-grandfather." And he said to me, he was a very scary man. He was a fair man, but he was a very scary man. I took his name when I got baptized. I was born Davis Aurini. I was baptized Leo Aurini. After the Pope, after my grandfather. Great-grandfather. By the way, when I was a teenager, I inherited his old cowboy boots because he was an oil patch worker here in Alberta for a while. My bloodline means a lot to me, but it doesn't mean a lot to anybody else. I wish I had an answer to this. I wish I had. Sign up for this political platform. State this sort of meaning in your life. Everything will make sense. Our bloodlines have been denigrated. And oftentimes it seems like our parents are more interested in fighting over assets than leaving something to the future generations. Don't have a good answer to this question. And so yeah, I also feel like a transient in exile. Most of my friends do. I always loved the House of Elrond in Lord of the Rings because it felt like home. Felt like maybe I could build a home that other people could come to. I tried saving money, then I had to buy food. Merchant cities are always very multicultural, absolutely. Scows McJowls says, if you ask God for strength, you might have too much strength. You dig? He is completely correct. Ask God for strength. I am glad you did not get tattoos, Butterfly. No hate for people that got tattoos. but so few of us that didn't. Let's see, Top Hat says, I was thinking the Decepticons invade Earth, and as humanity is faced with this powerless Godzilla, who has already been a major threat to humanity, against the greater evil. Okay, that's interesting. I'm liking that. Does Godzilla need to be kaiju? So in Star Trek, they had teleporters to save money on special effects on a shuttle landing on the planet. They invented the teleporter to get the Captain Kirk onto the planet so he could deal with it forthright. Godzilla was a man in a rubber lizard costume to represent the horrors of industrialism, of nuclear science, modernity, etc. Reconsider how your heroes and villains need to be represented. What is your true villain? What is your true hero? What is the true conflict? I mean, at the basic level, it's biology versus science. Okay, biology versus science. Now, how are you illustrating that? What's the core of the conflict that you want to illustrate? Listen, you can start with Transformers versus Godzilla. You can start with that, and you can wind up with something incredibly unique, incredibly weird, incredibly good. Yeah, like Godzilla wouldn't necessarily be good, but he's not evil. He's necessary. He's a consequence. So you got this technocratic solution that inevitably creates a biological backlash. Sven says, in the writing process, have you ever called something, as in your creative interaction with the zeitgeist, and you pick up on coming world events? My experience with that was the COVID lockdown. I had an idea for a story that revolved around a lockdown. So, my favorite review of my novels, an old friend, I haven't spoken to him in a long time, but he pointed out that they weren't post-apocalyptic. They were present-apocalyptic. That the characters in my novels complaining that nobody understood how technology worked. That was contemporary to 2010. No, they were absolutely part of the system. Goodness, I swear, if we actually looked at our genealogy, we'd be like 30% related. Over up on the wall, you can't see it, but just behind the monitor is my great-grandfather's flag from his Corvette from World War II. Should I make Godzilla like he is in the recent American films? Super Predator, King of the Monsters, and keeps the other beasts. No, absolutely not. It's been the biggest flaw in Godzilla. Godzilla, as at least as I understand it, in the Japanese tradition, he was more of a response to the nuclear weapons disrupted the natural order, which they did, and they angered a primordial chthonic nature deity. And he rose up in anger with violent destructive force against anybody that cooperated with that. That's what Godzilla is. A chthonic deity that is angry at the disruption of the natural order. And hey, Top Hat Check, you can remix this any way you want. Figure out what story you want to tell. In fact, maybe figure out your characters. Figure out your characters, walk them down good paths. And then let the chthonic deities speak for themselves. Listen, Godzilla was constantly a response to... He was a particularized Japanese response to using advanced scientific knowledge to create mass murder. That's what Godzilla is. It's a primordial response to poisoning our own environment. It is a response to nuclear war. Godzilla is the nuclear bomb made manifest. It's a question, how ought we to interpret the nuclear bomb? I mean, the same thing as Terminator. Terminator is how ought we to incorporate artificial intelligence. I think we ought to interpret artificial intelligence as mirror. The AI is your mirror. It will inhabit whatever you deny. It is your anima. But it's also intelligent, active, we have engineered a black mirror that reflects ourselves with the AI. Godzilla is about us reflecting the environment against us. And we need to finish that reflection. We need to take good moral responsibility for this earth. Not write it off as somebody else's problem. Could you write a good story about anima versus anima? Could you write one where Godzilla and technology get along? Reverse gaslighting, exactly. God damn it, man, exactly. Reverse. Can we reverse gaslight everybody? Can we turn people back to sanity? Can we trick them into being civilized? How do we make this world civilized? Alright guys, I'm quitting the live stream. Carpe futurum tenetraditum! You crazy bastards, keep solving the problems. This is Aurini.